All right, so let's take a look at our next question. A physician orders hydrocortisone sodium succinate, 250 milligrams in 1,000 milliliters over 10 hours with a drop factor of 10 drops per ml. Okay, so let's take a look. I've got 1,000 milliliters in an IV bag. It's being pumped into the patient over a period of 10 hours. So it takes 10 hours for this 1,000 milliliters to get into the patient. This may or may not be our flow rate. Let's see how it plays out. Sometimes they give us the flow rate explicitly, and that's always what we would use. Let's see if we have to calculate flow rate here. Our drop factor, they told us, is 10 drops per milliliter. And so this would be macro tubing, right? Because macro is 10, 15, 20, and micro always delivers in 60. So we're using a macro set at 10 drops per milliliter. Let's see what they want us to figure out. What is the correct IV flow rate in drops per minute? So they want our drip rate. They want drops per minute. So they want our drip rate. Okay. Well, if I've got my formula sheet or I've got my formulas memorized, I know that to get drops per minute, if I want my drip rate, I'd have to take my milliliters of volume here, multiply it by my drop factor and divide by the number of minutes. I'm basically taking my flow rate, multiplying it by my drop factor to get my drip rate. So they didn't give us an explicit flow rate. They didn't say, hey, it's moving at a rate of 200 milliliters per hour or 100 milliliters per hour. They said it's 1,000 milliliters over 10 hours. So we're going to use that to calculate our flow rate. We'll take 1,000 milliliters. Okay, that's our volume. We'll take 1,000 milliliters, multiply by our drop factor. We said our drop factor was 10. And then divided by the number of minutes. So we're looking at 10 hours. And so I've got a pretty okay setup here, right? I've got my volume, I'm multiplying it by my drop rate, and I'm dividing it by my time. But I have it in hours, I want it in minutes. So what I have to do is I have to convert this hours to minutes. So I have to figure out how many hours, how many minutes does 10 hours equal? So how many minutes are in 10 hours? So I could take my 10 hours, multiply it by 60 to get it in minutes. And so 600 minutes equals 10 hours. Okay, so now that I've established that 10 hours is 60 minutes, I can replace that. I can do 1,000 milliliters times 10 drops over 600 minutes. In entering this into my calculator, I've got 1,000 times 10,000 divided by 600. I've got 16.6 repeating. Okay, if I want to round to my nearest whole number, oh, is that what they want from me? What's the correct IV flow rate in drops per minute? Use the standard formula to solve this problem. Round off to the nearest whole number. At 16.66 drops per minute, my value would be 17 drops per minute when I round to my whole number. So my answer to this question here, I would say, what's the correct IV flow rate? It is 17 drops per minute.